Good afternoon, viewers, and welcome to Futsal868 Corner Talks. My name is Geoffrey Edwards, series moderator and president of the Futsal Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Futsal868 Corner Talks is an online weekly meetup series where global sporting professionals share their experiences and perspectives on the fastest growing indoor sport in the world, futsal. In recent sessions, we expanded to discuss topics of social issues and their relation to sport. Our main objective is to sensitize and educate sports stakeholders on the sport of futsal and other pressing local and global issues. Today, in episode 24, we talk to Italian native Sergio Gargelli, who is the head coach of the Chinese national futsal team, and Spanish-born Dr. Daniel Berdejo, who is the head of performance at Bay Area Futsal Club in San Francisco, United States of America. Both men are part of Futsal Solutions, the facilitators of Futsal868 online certificate futsal coaching education series. Before we introduce our panel, let's take a look at their stories when it comes to futsal and their journeys through photos. So to Daniel and Sergio, thank you very much for joining us today as we discuss futsal and futsal solutions and your involvement in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to say thank you very much for being a part of the show. To Sergio, you're in China at the moment. What is the time?
Good morning for me, I tell you. Good afternoon to everyone. Yes, to me, first of all, many thanks, Jeffrey, to invite me. It's a big honor to be in the show and to help futsal to grow up in Trinidad and Tobago. Here is 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. Okay. So I am the only woke up in the sports center. Actually, we are all closed here to finish to play the league that was suspended after the spread of the virus.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the third day games. So the clubs will play a tour de force of play a game almost one day yes, one day no. And that's why at least we bring again futsal to life here in the country.
Okay. Daniel, what time is it by you?
Hello, Jeffrey. Thanks for having me here. It's 1 p.m. So for me, the time is perfect.
So it's basically only Sergio to catch, yeah? As we say in Trinidad and Tobago. So guys, straight to the topic. What has been your journey as regards to futsal? Sergio, in your bio, you are known as the globetrotter of futsal. And Daniel, you are not too far behind because you have crisscrossed the Atlantic in terms of your pursuit of futsal. So tell us a little bit as regards to your journey when it comes to this beautiful sport that we all love.
Yeah, I started as a football player, And then as a football player, I have to stop my career very young because problem on my knee. And then I started to play futsal in amateur with my friends in amateur way. But I was very lucky that near my city, that is Florence, there is another small city that is called Prato. And at that time, the coach of Prato team was Jesus Velasco, the former coach of Inter Movistar and one of the best in the world. So when I went to see him, I understood that this is a different sport for what I was practicing. I was practicing mini football. So I was very interested, and then I became coach in Prato for the youth team. And then after some years of work in Italy, I received a call from a Japan club to make a stage there. And I was really attracted by futsal in Asia because I saw a great potential, and I think Asia is a part of the world where there are more investment in futsal growth. And now this is my 14th year in Asia. I worked for Japan Football Association as assistant coach, in Vietnam as head coach, in Japan as coach of one club. I worked in Indonesia. I worked in Qatar. In China, this is my 2.5 year. And I worked for Norwegian Football Federation. That's why I told you I can feel myself like a globetrotter. And I feel that futsal became part of my life. Is really something that I love. I really feel that this sport is amazing and can help a lot, and we will talk later about that, football and football player to improve themselves and grow up. And as I told you, I have experienced futsal in many different countries and many different culture. So many ways also to develop, because of course I had to adapt my way of working to the culture, the history, the food, the tradition of players in the country where I stayed. And I worked already, this is my 4th federation, football federation. So the good thing that I think I had is working for a football federation gave me the possibility to develop futsal at 360 degrees, from, of course, the national team, but also to the coaching course, to the improvement of the league, to futsal education in the school, and futsal with kids help the connection between grassroots and futsal. So this is the things that I have done in all my last 13 years.
To Daniel, I would like to pose the same question to you. Please do tell us your journey as regards to futsal.
So, as you know, I was born in Spain, and like every single kid in Spain, I started to play futsal over there. Then I decided to take a different route, and I decided to go to athletics. So I am a long distance runner, but I did my courses, my coaching courses. I went to university, and in 2008, I went, because of the studies, because of the university, I went to England, I went to the UK. After that, I started to work over there in different clubs. I worked for Manchester Futsal Club. Then I moved to another club, Sheffield FC Futsal. And then finally, I work in Loughborough in the International Futsal Academy. At the same time, all these years, I work for the FA. I work for the Football Association as a sports scientist and assistant coach for the England futsal national teams. And I spent basically 8 years in England. In 2016, I moved to the US. On those 8 years in England working for the national team, I had the opportunity to go, to so many different countries around the world, traveling with the team. So the same as Sergio said, learning different experiences, different culture. I participated with the team in UEFA tournaments, in FIFA tournaments, and in 2016 it was a good opportunity for me to cross the Atlantic and come here to the USA. So since then, I've been here in San Francisco in California, working for Bay Area Futsal Club, very close to basically in the heart of Silicon Valley. At the same time, I like to do a lot of things just to try to develop and the sport. So I've been doing camps during the summer periods in Spain. I go to Italy to do some summer camps over there. I've been like 3-4 times in Bermuda, so I know a bit about the Caribbean futsal. And recently, I had another experience with another federation. I was in the African Futsal Cup of Nations just last January. I was there since November, December, January, and February, working for the Libya national team with the objective to qualify for the World Cup. And basically, we missed out. We finished fourth. The top three they went through, so we finished fourth. So I came back to the US, and now I've been here since March again, trying to do something with this pandemic. So that was basically my whole journey from Spain to America.
If I may go back to you, Daniel, and then I'll move on to Sergio.
Yep.
As regards to Libya, can you give us, since that has been your latest experience in terms of a national team setup and just slimly missing out on qualifying for the World Cup, what are your thoughts on that entire experience that you had, and what could they have done better?
Okay, so if we talk about sport, it was painful, because when you have that close to win a medal, so to win the bronze medal, and most importantly to qualify for the World Cup, and then you miss out. If we talk about the sport, about this competitive mentality, it was a tough one to take, because you are very, very close, and basically everything got like vanished in nothing. And in the last game we played against Angola, and I think we played very well. We had a lot of chances, but we didn't score a goal. Their goalkeeper, the Angola goalkeeper, was amazing, was saving everything. They scored one goal, and then we put the flying keeper, and at the end we lost 2-0 because they scored the second goal with 2 seconds to go. So it was a difficult one to take. If we are talking about the experience, for me it was something that I will never forget, and for me it was one of the best experience ever. First thing, it was my first time in Africa, so culturally it was completely different, and we travel a lot to different countries. We went in Morocco, we went in Tunis, we went to Bahrain for some games. We came back to Tunisia, so it was culturally very, 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 very interesting experience. Also, the tournament was in Laayoune, in near the Sahara in Morocco, and my family traveled from Spain, so it was good to spend some time there with my mom and my dad, like watching me working and also missing out. So it's good. But what I really was very, very eye-opening for me, it was that don't forget the conflict that in Libya is happening right now. So basically there is a war. There is a kind of civil war in Libya. So to have this kind of experience with and this kind of relationship with players that they spend 2 months and a half, almost 3 months away from their country, with the families back in the country, in the situation that they are, that basically it is a war. And what you always wake up checking your phone and what could be happening overnight to your family, to your house, to your friends. So that was, that was very, very interesting to experience. And after 3 months, we saw things that I really think I was very, very proud of all those players that they committed that time for their country in the situation that basically they are right now.
To Sergio, what has been your greatest moment to date as to your journey in futsal?
I think the best experience has been in Vietnam. I think I spent there for 4 years of my life. I brought that my family. My son is born in Japan, but after 6 months already came to live in Vietnam. And it was really a great experience because when I was coaching Japan, let me tell you why, to introduce the situation. When I was coaching Japan, I had the possibility to enter in the national team as assistant coach of Miguel Rodrigo. And I stayed there for around 8 months in the national team, continuing working with my club. And I understood the big difference and the feeling that is to be coach of the national team different from a club. When you are coach of a national team, that you feel the anthem, even if it's not my country, I really felt a big responsibility and a big honor and the possibility to develop futsal in a complete way. So after some months, I started with collaborating with the Japanese national team. The Vietnam team called me, proposing me a contract of basically 2 months and a half to try to qualify Vietnam for the first time to the Asian Cup, to the Asian Championship, so to put Vietnam in the best 16. And even if I still have a long contract with the Japan team, I talked with the president of the club in Japan because I felt I should try this experience. My family told me I am a little bit crazy because I had the long contract in Japan and I break everything, I quit everything to accept a contract of 2 months, 3 months in Vietnam. Well, I found everything completely different. Even if my first training, I was shocked because even the court was not flat. You put the ball on the sideline for a kick in and the ball go in the center. So I said, how is possible working here? But little by little, I saw the desire that has these guys like me to do something that never has been done before. I found, of course, an environment that was not professional, and I tried to turn it. And of course, at the end, I told you I stayed there 4 years. We got amazing results, and the biggest one in my 4th year was the victory against Brazil in an international tournament that we organized in Vietnam. Because at beginning, I can tell you that in Vietnam, futsal was a known sport. When I met some new people in Vietnam that they ask me, what's your job? I tell I am coach of the futsal national team. What? What's this sport? Even they didn't know. And in 4 years, we got the result to transform futsal in the most practiced sport in Vietnam. So this is a big target. To do this, I asked the federation to make a tournament every year, international tournament, to promote also futsal, not only to give the national team possibility to practice. And the first year of this tournament, maybe only 200 people came to watch the match. So I was really sad because I said, if I consider some families of the player, some journalists, some people of the federation, they have to come, maybe not even the people who live around the sports stadium, they come to see us. So, but little by little, also with the result that we had with the national team, everything started to change. And in the last year that of the tournament that we organized, that we called the Tournament of the Champion, because we invited the champion of Southeast Asia, that is Thailand, that is a very big team in futsal. It's one of the best 15 teams in the world. We invited the champion of Asia, that was Japan, and the champion of the world, that was Brazil. We arrived to put in the stadium almost 5,000 people paying the ticket. So it was a big improvement for the popularity of sports in Vietnam. And in that day, we had a great result to win against Brazil 3-2. And I think until today, we are the only Asian country who have beaten Brazil in a game, because yes, Iran won Brazil, but at penalty. The game was finished 3-3 or 2-2, I don't remember. So in a game, I think we are till today the only Asian country. And the futsal in Vietnam, they have, I think the best thing I did is to make a plan to develop youth. So Vietnam passed from 0 to take part to World Cup in 8 years. I interrupted my journey there after 4 years, because I felt that my journey, starting from 0, arrived to beat Brazil, was finished. I needed some new motivation. Maybe I did a mistake, and I went to Indonesia, and then Indonesia was banned for the competition of international competition by FIFA. So I had to stop my journey there. But I think the place where I enjoyed myself more, and I felt that was really a great my best experience was in Vietnam. It really something amazing that we did.
And it is to be noted to all our viewers that right after you would have qualified, or I should say Vietnam would have qualified for the World Cup in Colombia, which is a very, and that is attested to the fact that you would have put in 4 years work into the foundation for building the country's futsal landscape and the whole futsal in Vietnam. So congratulations to you on that point of view. If it is video, just to quickly look a little bit in terms of a video. Let's take a little while to look at the video in terms of Sergio. And when we come back, we'll definitely get some more questions directly to Sergio.
The deep passion about football made us think every day how to create outstanding players. We want people to enjoy football, especially kids. Greatest players to act with intelligence. We teach kids to make right decisions of their own.
We encourage creativity, we encourage problem solving, we encourage learning from mistakes. These qualities make kids make smart decisions both in life and matches.
In this way, we achieve their personal success. In this way, we extract talent.
We are Futsal
by FSF. We are here to create football stars.
Come from Florence, Italy.
Granada, Spain.
Sergio, tell us more to that video.
This is a project that we have with Futsal Solutions in China. And in China, you know, the government made a lot of investments to improve football. And I went in touch with a gentleman that he's a really fan of football. He was president of a club, of a team in Chinese Football Super League. And talking with them, he didn't know nothing, didn't know anything about futsal. But I started to talk with him about the benefits of futsal for football, showing him that the best football players in the world, and surely 8 on 10 of the most paid football transfer player in the last maybe 5 years, has a futsal background. This is a reason why, if they come from different countries, but they have a common background in futsal. And he was really interested in the project that we have with Futsal Solution, because Miguel Rodrigo, Daniel, Pulpis, Silvio Crisari, me and other coaches, we are together in Futsal Solution. We created a methodology after our experience in Japan, or we started in Japan with Miguel Rodrigo and me. We created a methodology from futsal to football to improve the football players and create the modern football players. So this gentleman was really interested, and he decided to stop his experience in the Chinese Football Super League with the club. So he sold the club, but he wanted to remain connected to football and create an academy following the Futsal Solution way of teaching, so methodology. And this side of Futsal Solution, this methodology is called FSF, Futsal Solution Football. So we started this project from zero, working fundamentally in 2 cities. One is Wuhan, that now all the world will know, because known for the beginning of this virus that has upset our life in deep. And the other city was Beijing. And we started, and in 7 months we arrived to have an academy with almost 1,500 kids, 1,400 something. And of course, this methodology will follow some principles. Not only is copy and paste of futsal to football, is not this, but this is the system based on the futsal way of training adapted to football, and some other basic pillars where we develop the creativity, the decision making, the own decision making of players, learning from mistake. This kind of method we experiment in Japan, where we had the experiment of the miracle lesson, and I can tell you something more later. And of course, this is a video that we did with our kids in the academy in Beijing, where there was a presentation for an event that we did in an international school. Here, of course, football and every sports activity was suspended because of virus. I remember I was in this sports center the 22nd of January, when we had to holiday to go back 1 week because we were preparing Asian Cup qualification. We went 1 week holiday for the Chinese New Year, and after that I haven't come back to China since August, because the country was closed. So the activity for kids, for football kids, are restarted from the end of August. So our coaches of Futsal Solution are coming back to China. The first one, because still is not easy to get the visa to enter in China, the first one will come back at the beginning of October, and then all the other coaches will follow. We arrived to have almost 10 instructors, 9 instructors, and another one is going to arrive here before the stop. And as I told you, the project was growing up very fast, and the family was really happy because this methodology help the kids to grow up not only in sport but also in life, because improve the self-esteem, improve the love for what they do. So this is really something that the family are really happy to, not only for the sports side but also the social side. They are really happy to join our academy here in China. Our project that is called here, the academy is called Futsal, is a participation between Futsal Solution and this Chinese investor. And this is China is one of the part of the world where we are working with this new methodology. We are working in Japan, we are working in Norway, we are working in many other countries. So this is one of the part. That's why this kind of video.
I know you're working with us in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to say thank you very much for that. With that being said, what is the present landscape like when it comes to futsal in Japan? And what have you achieved to date being the head coach? Of China. Sorry, my apologies. And what have you achieved to date being the head coach of the Chinese national futsal team?
So in China, as a national team, well, in Vietnam, there are a lot of competition because there are a lot of competition in Southeast Asia. In China, we only get some friendly tournament, except the participation of the first Asian Cup, but I was coach since 1 month, so we got the qualification to the final round of Asian Cup, but unfortunately we could not pass and arrive to quarterfinal. We had a crazy game with Iraq, and at the end we lost after receiving 2 red cards and 2 penalties. Again, we lost the game 4-2, and we could not achieve to the quarterfinal. In the group stage, we had Iran. Iran is 3 level up compared to Chinese level. It's one of the best 5 national team in the world. So one sure in the group, one of the spot was for Iran, and the other one we have to fight between us and Iraq. And in this crazy game where everything happened, we was a little bit unlucky and could not join that. So my how can I say, my chance to have a great result will be in next AFC competition that will be next December. Now the preparation will be not the best because we had to stop the preparation last January, as I told you. At the moment, I had really good feeling that the team was ready to try to enter in the best 5 to go to the World Cup. Now we will have 1 month of preparation after 9 months stop, so the team is almost to rebuild. I had to the federation asking me one advice: it was better to start with the national team or with the league, and I told without doubts with the league, because if we want that futsal survive and has a future in the country after many players hasn't received a salary from clubs during this period of lockdown in China. So I told them that if this year the league will be cancelled, will be a big problem for future of futsal in the country. So I told them that I cannot be selfish to think only to the national team, but I need to be open-minded and prefer to have less preparation for the national team, but give a brilliant future to the league this year and next year. So and in the future years. So that's why I prefer. I can tell you that the majority of countries that play Asian Cup are already training. Someone since August, someone beginning of September, and we will start 24th October. So consider that is a big difference. But is the best way we could do, consider the situation that we are living. Of course, I don't change my target. I go there with the intention to qualify to World Cup. I know it's hard. I know China is not the favorite. we will try. I know that miracle in sports can happen when you create the condition. I saw that, I told you, I lived that when we beat in Brazil. So I can tell you that we must create the condition. This is what the coach can control. Create the condition, and then when you will play against a stronger opponent, of course, when you create the condition, sometimes the lucky will support. And maybe will be our best day, maybe will be the worst day, and some situation will turn to us and not to them. But this is the way we need to create the condition to stay in the game until the end. That's, to me, what means create the condition for a good result, for a great result.
Totally understand. And let's take the time to move across to Dr. Daniel and see a little bit more as regards to who he is and what he has been doing in the Bay Area, San Francisco, United States of America. Let's take a quick look.
Jordan, you are cutting here to that side. You receive the ball here, and Thomas already has an option over there. You don't have to do this. So it's super important that where you put the neutral players. So we have a rectangle in the middle. So as soon as he receives the ball, it doesn't matter where the ball is coming from, you cut, and then you go, because Thomas will make the defensive. Good ball. Good ball, good ball.
So, to Doc, tell us as regards a little bit about that video, as well as what is the present futsal landscape in the Bay Area.
Okay, so that video is from Sheffield, okay, in England. So I coached 2 years over there, and then I moved here to the Bay Area. But I am still advising and I still guiding my former club in England. So in the last 2 Christmas, I've been there delivering a futsal seminar in the English Institute of Sport in England. But talking about the Bay Area, I moved here in 2016, and futsal in the US is a bit difficult to understand. So it's not big; it is developing. If we are talking about national team, probably as you know, since the last CONCACAF qualification, when the US national team lost in the pre-CONCACAF against Canada, they stopped completely the program, and it has been like 4 years without a program. And basically they started at the beginning of this year with a new head coach and with a new program to try to qualify for the CONCACAF tournament that it was canceled in at the beginning of May. So they still have to play that tournament to try to qualify for the World Cup, which I believe is the objective. So that is talking about the national team. Then if we talk about the grassroots, in the US, there are, between quotation marks, there's different federations that they are organizing different leagues, different tournaments, and different regional and national championships. And what is very interesting, football or soccer, as they call it here, is very, very popular, and it is huge. It is a huge business. And the way that soccer is organized is they have 2 seasons, which is one in fall, in autumn, and the other one in spring. So they try to fit futsal in the winter season. So most of the clubs here, they play futsal during the winter months, but they don't really play all year round. So this is something that I think it needs to improve here, because I believe that futsal is just being used as a tool to develop football players, which I think is a big problem, and we can talk about that further in the conversation. But Bay Area is a very wealthy area. So many players. We have so many players in this side of the country. Probably is the area where more futsal clubs are, together with LA. But there are not many futsal going all year round, and that is why I got involved with Bay Area, because Bay Area Futsal Club, we have a main team that we have been competing nationally and internationally quite a lot and doing good things. But personally, and the club objective is to try to give the opportunity to play futsal with top futsal coaches in class environment to as many kids as possible, because I believe that the future is the grassroots. It's not the players that they are playing futsal now, because in 3, 4, 5 years, those players they will retire. We have to plant the seed to get that passion on those kids, and in 5, 10, 6, 15 years time, we still have players, stronger players, because they learn futsal since the very beginning, and they learn the right way to play with the principles, the fundamentals of offensive and attacking. So that is basically the landscape in the whole Bay Area and a bit of the United States of America.
So tell me a little bit as regards to your role as the head of performance at your club. What does that role do, and how do you see your role affecting the club in the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay, so as a head of performance, one of the main things is I am the head coach for the men's team. So I am the head coach for the men's team. I am coaching that team during the season and in tournaments. At the same time, I am trying to lead all the other programs in the grassroots. So those programs are to try to create youth teams, to train and to participate in tournaments and leagues, and organize clinics or camps for kids. Like, for example, when during the summer we organize camps during the summer, like Monday to Friday, to give the opportunity to play futsal through to kids. At the same time, I try to develop as many as possible coaching courses or seminars to try to spread futsal and to try to educate other clubs and other coaches about what futsal is and how it could be developed. Because I cannot be in all the places at the same time, so my main focus is coaching the men's team, delivering all the seminars, and putting coaches and curriculum together for those youth teams and for those summer camps. When I'm in time, I go to every single summer camp, but I want also to give freedom, and I want to give the experience to other coaches to be able to coach, to follow the curriculum, to ask me questions. So in the long term, we are also developing those coaches. And one vision that we have in the club, and one key aspect, is that we want to involve our first team players. We want them to be involved with the grassroots. So we are always asking the players in the first team to try to come to training sessions, to coach, to pick a team in a tournament and be the assistant coach, because that way we are putting a pathway for the kids that they see, okay, maybe in 6 years time I can be playing there. So they have like a pathway, they have a route. So we want to build a very, very strong relationship, between the first team and the youth.
That is extremely amazing because it really gives us an opportunity to see your methodology and see how it works. And we as well at Futsal868 agree with such, because we believe that there has to be continuity, especially when it comes to new sport, in developing the futsal landscape in Trinidad and Tobago. Very, very, very important. But Doc, I also know that you have written a book on futsal, as well as you do a lot of lecturing. Can you give us some more information as regards to both?
Yes, of course. So I would say that I am a bit of a geek, or of a nerd, if you want. So I like to learn, and I am still educating myself and doing courses and trying to learn as much as possible. And last week I had a Zoom meeting with Sergio talking about blogs and things, because we try to learn. So at the same time, I believe in sharing is caring, and caring is loving. So I like to share as much as possible, because I really think that is the way to improve. So if I share and another coach share, and both of us, we can learn from each other and we can challenge each other, at the end, both of us, we will improve, and the sport, in this case futsal, will improve too. So I got, I travel around the world to try to do lectures or to collaborate to as many seminars as possible. And I wrote 2 books in futsal, 4th in total in my career, but the other 2, they are not about futsal. But I did 2 books in futsal. One, a very basic book with 2 of my former players in England about basic techniques and basic tactics in futsal. And then a couple of years ago, we did another one, Kevin, Bryan, and myself. We did another one about the triangle of in coaching, which for me is the coach, the player, and the parents, especially when we are talking about youth. That triangle is super important. So we try to put a guide or a book to educate those parents, to help the coach and to help their kids, ultimately the players, through futsal. So everything, all the book is through the futsal, the sport of futsal. That is basically about books. And right now I am writing another one, which I hope to finish by the end of this year. But I think we are super busy, and Sergio is going to collaborate as well. And the idea is this thing that he already mentioned about how football should be taught, and how futsal could help to football both in the grassroots and in the high level. So I think Sergio will cover all the high level aspects, how futsal can help football in the high level, and I'm going to cover about the grassroots.
That's amazing stuff. And for those who are watching us at the moment, we will definitely be putting up the link for the book in tomorrow's Facebook post, as well as Instagram post. So take a look at it, because we'll definitely be promoting Dr. Daniel's book, or 2 books, as regards to his work in futsal. It's very interesting what he's doing and what both gentlemen are doing. And we are more than proud to be a part of the partnership that we have with Futsal Solutions. So if it is, we will now to move gear, and this question goes out to both of you all guys. With the Futsal World Cup coming in next year, what are your predictions for this great once every 4-year tournament that is the pinnacle of futsal globally?
Well, let me First of all, let's wish that the competition will be not postponed again, because it will mean that our life will go back to regular life. So this is my first things. Then I honestly believe that Iran can be the surprise of the competition, because Iran to me has amazing players. They only lack sometimes in continuity, but we saw that in the last World Cup in Colombia, they were able to kick out Brazil from the competition. And I think Brazil will be always the favorite teams, because they have the best player, but in a single game, everything can happen. So in Europe, Russia is living a moment where the league is going a little bit down. So anyway, they still have a good national team. Portugal will be very competitive. Italia was a disaster in the qualification. What's happened? So also there is a new change with a new coach that has started now. Spain always will be a very competitive team, but I would like, if I have, in this case, we say to bet some money, I would like to bet some money on Iran, because to me they have all the possibility to enter in the final of the competition and become world champion. And it would be another big step for Asian futsal. I saw the grow up of Asian futsal because I was one of the first coaches to come in Asia and see this part of the world growing up very quickly, with lots of investment from every single federations and the AFC also. So this is, and as a competition, I wish this year futsal will go back to practice normally, even in all the World League, even if I heard that in Europe there are lots of uncertainty about this playing of the league. So there will be a beginning, but many federations, I talked in Spain, I talked with the Italian federation, the Russian league is already going on well, but still there are some fear to that some problem can happen again. So the quality, of course, the quality of the World Cup, I think, will be the mirror of how will be this season, because as you know, I saw after the lockdown, football came back to play, and the level of football was not as intensity, maybe the lack of spectators. It seemed more similar to a training than a real match. So this is the level of football or level of soccer after the COVID stopped, the lockdown. I think the quality of the game was not the quality of the game before, and it's easy to explain, because if I take a pianist and a pianist take 2 months without touching the piano, his ability to perform when he will touch the piano again will be not the same as before. The confidence not the same as if he practices every day. So I wish this year, little by little, will go back to normal the life go back to normal in every part of the world, and will give the possibility to the World Cup to be an amazing event, as has been in all the past editions.
Daniel, it's interesting what Sergio just mentioned, because according to the UK-based newspaper, the Football Association's COVID-19 cost-cutting strategy dismantled key strands of its celebrated England DNA coach education program, and thus abandoned its commitment to the sport of futsal, which was once hailed by Gareth Southgate, England's top gaffer, as a great game and developmental tool to help create the next generation of players. This is according to the leaked documents seen by the Guardian newspaper out of the United Kingdom. It continued, the decision to remove all futsal national teams and staff revealed in the document sent to the FA's technical tip department, also in effect abandons the commitment to create a women's national team. Having worked with the FA previously, Daniel, what do you think will be the impact to the English game if this decision becomes a reality?
Well, for first thing, that was a leak on The Guardian, that's correct. But it was confirmed the day after by a statement that the FA published on their website. So basically, it seems that it's becoming a reality. So working there 7.5 years, the first thing, the first feeling I got is I am sad. I am sad because I was part of that for 7 years. So the FA has been supporting the futsal program since 2003, which basically is 17 years. And I've been part of that 7.5, so almost a third of that. I got so many friends over there. So the first feeling is I'm very sad to see that happening. And I hope something happened to turn the decision back. Having said that, I think it's not only, for me, the main reason is not only that they are shutting down the England futsal team, which is a reality and is a disgrace, but the question marks that I got is what is going to happen with the domestic competitions, with the leagues, with the FA Cup? What will happen with all the education coaching programs? If the coaches, they are going to be able to keep learning futsal or not? And what will happen, and this is for me one of the most important things, what will happen with the youth? Will kids be able to keep playing futsal or not? So those, it's not only about the national team. The national team is super bad news, and that is what is all over the media because it takes the attention from spectators because it's the pinnacle of the program. But also what is underneath is very, very, for me, is very sad. And I really think that the decision somehow came back and could be fixed. I don't know how. But also, I think something that is very, very interesting for me is I would like to see the federation to change their vision about futsal. As you said there, and you said Gareth Southgate, they only see futsal as a development tool to improve the football player. And I think that is one of the something that futsal could be a tool to develop football players, but they should see futsal as a sport. And they should treat futsal as a proper sport that is different from football, that of course they can improve football players, but it's the same, for example, for me, like netball and basketball. Of course you can play netball and it's going to make you better player, but the netball federation is not selling netball. Hey, let's play netball because you will become a greater basketball player. No, you play netball because you love netball, because you want to be the best netball player in the world. So I think that is something that, in my opinion, it should change within the FA.
So with that being said, my question to you is, how important is futsal? I mean, I'm asking you this specifically as a strength and conditioning coach, as a head of performance, based on your knowledge and travel. How important is futsal, the sport of futsal, in a member association, a FIFA member association, as a standalone sport and also a developmental tool to football?
Sergio, do you want to talk or do you want me to talk about that?
Okay.
I think the thing is, I think
you have the fire in your hands now.
No. I really think that it should be treated as a own sport. completely. Yes. And I see, and I think we have, for example, we have some examples about so many federations that they treat it as their own sport, and they give the resources that they need. Of course, it's going to be limited compared to football, but it is understandable because also the revenue. So at the end, it's a business. So I understand that the budget that a federation gives to futsal is less than the one they give to football. I completely understand, but it is about how you treat it. It is about how you sell it to the public, to the clubs. And I really think that it should be treated as an own sport completely.
Sergio, any comment to that before I want to throw in my 2 cents?
I agree with what Daniel says. I think that, first of all, even if what is happening in England is a big disgrace, a really big disgrace, I think it's just a small delay in the futsal growth, because futsal is so easy to be played compared to football that the growth of futsal cannot be stopped, to my opinion. The popularity of futsal cannot be stopped. Now, from the popularity of futsal playing the base to the high level competition and move these sports towards professionalism, there is a big difference. And I think one of the steps where I can see FIFA could do a little bit more, for example, is to move futsal to become Olympic sports. For example, in a country like China, where Olympic sports are the most important and they have big contribution from Olympic Committee to the investment. Futsal is not Olympic Committee, so is not seen as a sports. Okay, they see this like a tool to improve their football player, but not, for example, they have the support from Chinese Olympic Committee, and they invest heavily in Olympic sports. So to me, futsal must become Olympic sport. For example, this is another big step for the growth. The other thing, I think, if football really understand how we can help them, every football club, and in Italy, Juventus has just started, because Juventus has long vision about that.
Exactly.
They signed the former coach of national team of Italy, Alessio Musti, where I helped them with, when he was coach of national team, to create a project we helped them as Futsal Solution to create a project that was called Futsal in Soccer, where they promoted futsal inside all the professional football clubs in Italy. Juventus was the first to decide to create a real futsal program in the youth. So the kids from 6 to 14, they will play both leagues. Inside the Juventus Sports Center in Vinovo, they have built a lot of futsal court to make this happen. So the project is very, very important for them. And of course, this will be a way where we develop the youth kids playing futsal. Of course, football will always choose the best one, but the other one will be able to continue a futsal career at high level, having a good base of futsal education in the life, in their youth age. So to me, this is, in the short term, in the next 10, 15 years, how the picture of how I see futsal development. So to me, considering the idea that there is inside the main federations in the world, I think that the fastest way to develop futsal is through football, not independently, but through football. Also because we belong to the same family, because Daniel, you told one thing, we are not an independent federation.
Exactly, agree.
And so we are not an independent federation. We belong to FIFA. We are in the same family of football. So, and we cannot compete in popularity with football. We must be aware of this. So, to me, the growth of futsal in high level competition pass from football.
I totally agree with both of you, gentlemen. And if I may add my 2 cents to the discussion, is that whilst England FA was dismantling their futsal program, the Spanish FA were adding more money to their program, which is very interesting to say the least. Because they understood that their golden generation of Iniesta, Xavi, all of these players came from futsal, and they want to recreate another golden generation, and they see the path of the tiki-taka style being originating from futsal. So that's very interesting to say the least in terms of the comparison between both countries, both FAs at the same point in time. I also believe that that the FIFA should pay more attention or even spend more money as regards to futsal and beach soccer. For instance, we know that in terms of member associations, if it is money is received or allocated for women's football, it has to be used for women's football. And I think that this criteria should also be done for futsal and beach soccer in order to assist with the mandatory development of the sport in the member associations. Speaking to your point, Sergio, as regards to the quality of the games in football reducing, I hear you loud and clear. But as regards to futsal, if we take the model that the NBA has used, noting that futsal is very much close to the look and feel in terms of sport entertainment, I think that model that NBA has successfully done to date is a model that we in futsal can use and be successful as well. There's a lot of technology and a lot of innovation used right now with the NBA, and it has been quite successful to say the least. So I want to say thank you very much for that, guys. And definitely, I think we may have to have another discussion, a whole hour again discussion as regards to those topics, because it's very interesting topics to be able to help persons understand how important futsal is to the global sporting landscape, not just Trinidad and Tobago or Spain or Japan or China or Thailand, but the entire globe as it may be. So before we break, we want to let you all know that you're watching episode 24 of Futsal868 Corner Talks. And with us are the guys from Futsal Solutions. So we're going to take a quick break and go on to our final segment where we speak to the partnership with Futsal Solutions and Futsal868, as they are the facilitators for our online coaching education series, which begins next month, October. We'll be right back. So welcome back, and those were the two ads as regards to Futsal Solutions, where we have Dr. Daniel as well as Sergio with us representing Futsal Solutions. And in this segment, we are going to speak to the coaching education series, the online coaching education series that we'll be having starting in October. So I will leave it to you, gentlemen, to give us a little more insight as regards to the course plan, what our participants will expect to get for the rest of the year, because I know that we're going to be starting with the introductory level, and I'm just going to put up a few graphics with that. So as you guys see course plan, as you'll see here, we are starting with the basic level and level 1 for the rest of the year 2020, noting that the introductory level would be 3 days, and then the level 1 would be for 6 days. So with that being said, gentlemen, the floor is yours, as we like you to explain more to persons who are watching on now or will be watching on later as regards to Futsal Solutions partnership with Futsal868, presenting the online certified futsal coaching education series. Gentlemen.
So nothing, just let me tell you, Futsal Solution is born with the idea of coaches that have similar vision of futsal and same desire to share the futsal knowledge to help the sports to grow up, the sports where already exist, and to put roots and very solid roots where the sports still is not very popular. And of course, we have a lot of experience to have worked in many countries, and our courses are appreciated and developed in many countries. Two of our coaches, Miguel Rodrigo and Jose Pasos Mendes Pulpis, are FIFA instructor also. And nothing. How will be this? How will be structured the course? The first, the introductory level will be a course where we will talk about futsal. What is futsal sports? Which are the main rules? How a little bit about the story. Which are the main competition of futsal? How are structured the best league in the world, and what these league are. So a wide introduction about what futsal sports is, to make people understand how amazing is the sports and which are their features. In the level 1, that will be the second course, will be a course that is already designed for coaches, and especially coaches that work with youth. In this course, we will start to talk about which are the main features and the targets, and how to accomplish the targets in the futsal formation from 5 years old till the senior league. So, and about this also will be the second strong point, will be the connection between futsal and football. Which are the similarities, which are the difference, and how futsal methodology can help football players to become better, or to create the modern football players. So this will be the main topic. Then we will start to talk about the collaboration between two players, the individual tactic, both in defensive and offensive way, a little bit about system of attack, introduction to the defensive system, how to train, goalkeeper training in the youth. This will be the first two courses, the first two levels. In the level 2 and level pro are designed for coaches of senior team and high level competition. We will go more in deep from the tactical point of view. So how the difference between the system of attack, how the details of high level competition, the methodology of training, something about the performance, how to bring the players to express their 100% of performance, something about team building, more specific, the keeper training, high level competition. We will talk about the physical training for professional teams, and will be very structured course where we will go in the deep and in details of many arguments that I think will help the coaches of Trinidad and Tobago to become very, very aware of our sports and analyze in deep their job and grow up a lot as futsal coaches. And of course, as I told you at beginning, the level 1 is very well designed for coaches that work in the school, also in football, as educators in football. So this will be really an opportunity to analyze in deep how futsal method can be transferred to football with lots of benefits. So this is a small resume about how will be structured the courses. And as I told you, Futsal Solution had delivered coaching course from Australia to America, passing from Asia and Europe. So we are very proud and happy to start the collaboration with Trinidad and Tobago. And we are one of the, I don't call Futsal Solution company, but the association of coaches that have similar ideas and create a common method. This is, we are one of the first who started this plan. So I think we will have a great collaboration. We are really proud of that.
Daniel, anything to add to that?
I think the only thing that Sergio and I, because Sergio covered everything. But
yes.
The only thing to add is like something that Sergio and I want is to give the coaches from Trinidad and Tobago in an individualized and personal attention. So that is why we want not big groups, like we want to limit the number of coaches per course, and that is why we want to do as many courses as possible, but with a group of coaches not really big, because that way Sergio and myself we can have a more individual relationship with each one, so the coaches, they can get most of our knowledge, and ultimately they will become better coaches, and the kids in Trinidad and Tobago, they will learn more futsal.
Definitely. So with that being said, guys, it is literally an hour and 20 minutes that we have been having this conversation. It has been an amazing conversation, to say the least. I see that Sergio has been drinking his coffee or his tea. I don't know what is in that flask. I do not know if there's some rum inside there as well, but nevertheless, thank you very much, Sergio, for really giving us the time, getting up at that ungodly hours of before 4 a.m. to be with us. So I will leave the floor for both of you all in terms of closing remarks as we get set to see you all in the second weekend of October for the Futsal868 by Futsal Solutions online certified coaching education series. So the floor is open for you guys as regards to your closing remarks.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for your invitation. As I told you, to us is a great chance to collaborate with the development of futsal in Trinidad and Tobago. This is our aim for us, as I told you at the beginning, and as Daniel remarked, our main aim as Futsal Solution is share the knowledge, help futsal to grow up. So this is for us a great opportunity, and we are very thankful to collaboration and trust in Futsal Solution.
Daniel?
From me, just thank you for everything you are doing for futsal in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, thank you for giving us the opportunity to collaborate with your association and with your coaches, because, as I said, sharing is caring and caring is loving.
All the time. And at this point in time, I always want to give thanks to the persons who have been there with myself, in seeing in me more than I saw in myself. And I want to recognize one particular individual, and that of Mr. Constantine Constant, the head coach of the men's national futsal team in Trinidad and Tobago, who has been a mentor to me. And it will not be right if I do not recognize him, even as we speak about sharing is caring, because he shared his vision, he shared his life with me, in helping to be where we are right now when it comes to futsal in Trinidad and Tobago. He planted a seed, and I owe him a lot as regards to that. So I want to say it's a great honor to be able to have him as one of my partners in terms of developing the sport, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but also in the Caribbean. So with that being said, gents, I want to wish God's richest blessings to you and your families. Sergio, please be safe, whatever you're doing, and success to your venture as regards to the league. I know things are happening. To you, Daniel, in the Bay Area, blessings to you and your family as well. And we look forward to seeing you and speaking to you very soon. So we want to say thank you very much and adios for now.
Adios.
And for Sergio, in Sergio, key regards. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So there you have it. That has been the episode 24 as regards to Futsal 868 Corner Talks. We want to say thank you very much for everything that has happened, for being here with us. And you could always catch a recap of the show on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. But it's very important, as always, we are not going to let up or let go when it comes to our look to the social issues that affects us daily, with one of them being racial inequality and social justice. Let's always remember our stance. Once again, for those who missed out on it, coming soon, October, second weekend in October, is Futsal 868 by Futsal Solutions Online Coaching Education. We'll just take one last ad before we say goodbye. So on behalf of the team at Futsal 868, wishing you a great week ahead. So those who are going out to do their normal duties, please be safe. Remember to wear your mask, to wash your hands, and to be very vigilant in what it is you do. We want to say thank you very much. This is another episode of Futsal868 Corner Talks, and we want to say thank you to God for giving us the opportunity to see another day. To all those who may have lost a loved one over the week, may they rest in peace. To Mr. Nigel Grosner, also known as Groovy, may your family be consoled during this difficult time, and may you rest in eternal peace. God's richest blessings. Have a good evening.